Geek podcast. Today is Wednesday, February 3rd, and I believe it's our 46th episode, man.
I'm telling you, right?
It's just almost close to a year, man. It's gonna be, oh man, and I just can't wait. Some of the things we gotta cook in, I can't wait for year two.
Amen.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. But man, how's your week been?
I've been crazy, had work and then I've been trying to watch stuff and catch up and bought a car and, just busy week.
Congrats, man. Awesome. I saw that. It looks awesome. Do you have a name for her?
Not yet. Not
Not
yet.
yet.
That always takes me a while.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I remember one of my older cars was I named it the Falcon because it was silver. I thought it was pretty cool. Yeah. But yeah, man. Same here. I've been just. We finally have television back, and good television. We got all of like our we got all our CW that I'm with. All back in. Oh man, we gotta talk. We're gonna talk about League. I almost said League of Legends. Nerd. Yeah, no. Our the Legends of Tomorrow. God, man, that's some of the best television. X-Files, I absolutely loved. We'll get into that. And I've been playing some games. I haven't really. I played Destiny for a few hours with some buddies. Battlefront, but the game I've been playing and we're going to talk about later is called The Witness. And spoiler alerts, you should go buy it right now while you're listening to this.
Nice.
But yeah, man, we'll talk about that in a little bit. I don't think I saw any movies, but I was just consumed with so much content I probably just forgot.
Right.
But yeah, man, I've just been, working pretty much, just trying to save money and work and, geek out. It's pretty much my week.
There you go.
Yep. But yeah, man. So, man, do we have some news this week?
Right.
Yeah, let's we can get started because I definitely want to spend a lot of time in our reviews later in the show.
Yeah, we got a lot to make up for.
We do definitely, absolutely. Let's start getting into some movies. You take the first one here.
Yeah, apparently Sean Durkin, who was the director on Martha, Marcy, May, Marlene, which I did not see, is attached to direct a film that has just landed at Paramount. It is a film reboot of Little House on the Prairie.
Yeah, I thought that was okay.
Why?
Yeah,
Just why?
I have no idea. I mean, I could see Little House on the Prairie coming back as a show. Maybe like a Netflix thing if they made it interesting,
Right. Yeah.
I don't know about a movie though.
No, I don't either.
It doesn't really work. I mean, I think I might have saw Little House on the Prairie once as a kid, and the only reference I ever got to it was when I was watching Lost, and that's what Sawyer watched when he was a kid. You know, you know what I mean? Like, I can't think of any other pop culture thing that comes anywhere near Little House on the Prairie. I guess it's just not. I mean, I don't know what audience they're looking for that.
Right.
A film? I don't know.
Yeah, right. That was I don't know.
Did you ever watch it as a kid? As a kid?
No. I think
Yeah,
it was
me
a
neither.
little before me.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it. So yeah. Oh yeah, it was definitely before us. I think it ended like in the early '80s, but yeah, I don't know. You take the next one because I know you like this.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I lost my place here. Oh yeah, this was that news. They've been working on. We talked about I think a couple of weeks ago. They're doing like a Nicktoons movie. Aside from the Hey Arnold movie that they're doing, it turns out they're doing Jared Hess, who did Napoleon Dynamite, which is an unfortunate film that was okay, and then the fans ruined it. They Sorry,
Oh, good.
I was in high school when that came out. That was like they made it for exactly where I am now, and we just I say we as in that exact age group. It's just like, and we're gonna run this into the ground.
Yep. Oh
And
yeah, it
they
was
did.
quoted everywhere.
Yeah, it was one of those things, and I feel kind of bad for it because it was an okay movie. Like I didn't hate it until the fan base really got hold of it, and now I just anytime I hear anything about it, like I cringe.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh.
it really did that for me. Boondock Saints is another one like that.
Well, see, okay, both of those. I like it because I call it an entry drug. Maybe I'm phrasing that wrong, but it's kind of like oh, you like something that's a little weird, a little different, that's not so, the normal, the norm.
Right.
And it's that entry into, oh wait, there's more like there's indie films out there. There's lower budget titles that can be funny or, be serious. And yes, those two are great examples of things that are just not that good, but it's an entry into that world.
Right.
My buddy who he loved Boondock Saints, and I was like, dude, there's other movies just like that. Have you like Quentin Tarantino? Like, there's other filmmakers that do it better. And then he watched Pulp Fiction and everything, and his mind just blew. And so I see it as that entryway. So like, same with Napoleon Dynamite, I see that kind of as like that weird indie comedy that it's really dry and it's really weird,
Yeah.
but it's so popular that, yeah, like you said, it became so popular and it was just quoted and run to death that it's like, okay, yes, it's not a good example, but it's an entry, so I see him as a good
Yeah.
thing. Every once in a while, something like that comes along
Yeah.
and surprises people. Like right now. What We Do in Shadows. I'm telling my friends about it, and they would have never seen it. A lot of my friends, because they only see the big Will Ferrell comedies, and they saw that and they were just like, "Holy crap, that's hysterical!" Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
But the director for Napoleon Dynamite, Jared Hess, he's doing this Nicktoons movie, and the statement that Paramount put out, they're saying it's kind of like their answer to Who Framed Roger Rabbit, just because
That's
it's going to
cool.
have all these different they're saying it's going to include characters from Rugrats, Ren and Stimpy, Rocko's Modern Life, Ah Real Monsters, and Angry Beavers.
Oh, that is amazing.
I am so down for that.
Oh yeah, I saw an article the other day, and I don't know if this episode. I don't think it aired. It was like they wanted it to be the last Angry Beavers episode, and they wanted it to be the fact that they just realized they just understood the concept of death. and,
Okay.
and I guess Nickelodeon was like, no, that's too much. It's too heavy for little kids. And
Right?
they're like, but you just canceled us. So what if they just realized, like, oh wow, we're gonna die soon, and it's probably gonna be really soon. And they were like, no, that's too heavy. But that shows now they do that all the time in animation. So it was way before its time. And it's really cool. I wonder how they're going to do that. How they're all going to cross over. Maybe it's I don't know. One of them gets a device where they can hop from show to show.
Well, I mean, it could all just be in the same world.
Yeah, I guess you're right. That
They
that
could
makes
do that.
sense. Yeah, yeah, Ren and Stimpy and all that. Oh, that's gonna be great. Oh yeah.
Happy, happy,
Let's
joy, joy, indeed.
yeah, yeah, it's gonna be good stuff. Let's see here. Now, see, I didn't see this trailer. Did you see the trailer for Trolls?
Unfortunately.
Tell me about
Oh,
it.
God, just it looks awful. It's twerking trolls.
It's what? It's working trolls?
Twerking.
Twerking trolls.
It's
Oh
even.
wow.
Yeah, right. It's you watch a trailer and you're like, well, there's a piece of my childhood I'm never getting back.
Yeah, that's weird. Twerking trolls. Okay. I guess they got to do what's hip, huh?
Ask the Smurfs how well that went.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Oh man. Let's see here. We got some Star Wars news. Now, I saw this and I was like, well, that's kind of weird. Why Lego just kind of ruins movies, doesn't it? If you want to be, I should say, if you want to be completely spoil free for I'm sorry, for Rogue One, even though I'm sure this is going to come in a trailer, um, tune out for the next minute maybe. But apparently Lego figures shown included a ship named Rogue. Wait, no,
Yeah,
named Rogue One.
yeah,
Okay, so it looks exactly like Slave One.
yeah.
So okay, rumors are afoot that Boba Fett can be in the movie, which would make sense. It's that time frame; he could absolutely still be there.
Yeah, it
Uh,
makes sense.
yeah, and this would be a way for them to get him, because he's super popular and whatnot, back into film. So that would be interesting to see him. I didn't even think about that, but yeah, I mean, so many characters are now they're able to use. They could use Darth Vader is almost certain, right?
I would
And
imagine.
yeah, he's almost confirmed for it. Um, and yeah, no, I saw a whole bunch of uh, what do you call it? The costumes and whatnot for the film, all the different blasters and the outfits, and
Yeah.
it's straight from that time period. Like it's really cool looking. It definitely brings us back to the originals.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Let's see here. What do we got? Gwendolyn Christie confirms Captain Phasma's return in the sequel. I thought she did this a while ago, but no, it was the studio. It was Kathleen Kennedy that said she was coming back, but now
Right.
she's
Yeah.
officially confirmed.
Yeah. She's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be in episode 8. Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I think they're definitely going to make. They did say her part was going to be uh much bigger in this movie.
Oh good. Good. Good.
Yeah, yeah. Because man, she didn't do much in the first one except screw everything over. Yeah.
Well,
Let's see.
neither did Boba Fett really. So.
True, but like I didn't like the. I just didn't. Okay, spoilers for.
Well, we can do it kind of without spoiler. Just like it wasn't. They
I
built it up like here's this real badass chrome stormtrooper, and then
right.
there's not much like what's her screen time? Like 2 minutes?
Well, okay. Without spoiling anything, they asked her to do something and she just did it, and it was like no, like that just jeopardized everything. You know what I mean? Like
Well, but I mean it.
you're the leader of you're supposed to be like no, I'm going to die. That's it. You can kill me. I'm not going to betray. You know, I don't want to get too much into it if you don't want me to spoil it. But that one scene, I was like, no, it should have been like, I'm not doing that.
Well, but you brought it yourself. Like it's a mortality question. You're like how, there's also the idea that like okay, this was a thing that happened, but there's still like 1,000 other things between here and what they're trying to do.
Right? Yeah, I guess it's. Oh man, I didn't like that. I was like, no, she's been like, nope, not gonna do that. I don't know, but it would have made sense if you couldn't move the story along and whatever. There was an easy way for that to happen, I guess.
Yeah.
But
Plus, he got a trash compactor choke out of it, so
exactly. Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, I understand the writing reasons of it. I was just like, oh man, that sucks. All we've seen her do is just kind of like take orders and I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, let's see here. We got now for episode 9, director Colin Trevorrow.
Trevorrow. Yeah.
Trevorrow says movie will be shot in film, not digital.
Yeah, and it's interesting to see that this is still a debate. Like it's not a thing of like of it's not like it is with music
Hmm.
where everything is just oh we do it this way. Like you record to digital now. You very rarely record to tape.
Hmm.
Some studios still do, but it's not terribly common. But with film, they're trying to save to where you can have a choice. You still have a choice if you want to record audio to tape. You can. They still make it. They're
Right.
trying. It seems like in some instances, they're trying to phase out film, and the
Hmm.
actual filmmakers are saying, whoa, 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 hold on a minute. Don't just force us to do digital. Let us have a choice.
Right.
Most filmmakers will usually start digital. It's kind of like the way they train audio guys in a sense of you train on what's most popular. So you're gonna train digitally, and then you're gonna kind of have to come back to film a little bit and say, oh yeah, this and this, and because it's different, it's more physical because it is an
Right.
actual thing. But
Yeah.
it's this idea of like let them pick. Don't just say, well, we're gonna stop making we're going to stop making physical film. Don't do that. Let them have their choice. And I mean, we saw, episode 7 was shot on film, and I mean,
Right. Yeah.
game set
Exactly.
match.
And it was amazing.
Yeah.
I think it's good. I think it was Mark Hamill in that trailer. It was said, it's one step uh, in the present and one in the future in the past,
Yeah.
and that's what this whole I think this trilogy is all about. It's not forgetting where you came from. It's giving people that taste of home, and it's progressing forward and moving forward.
Right.
So when 9, 10, 11 will eventually get to where they'll probably just shoot with film or digital, but it's nice now to have that transition. But yeah, no, I don't know much about editing and all that stuff. I know that a lot of filmmakers just do digital, like you said, these days. But it's nice to see that kind of throwback. That oh, we're gonna do this, and it's gonna be a little bit different, but we're gonna do it.
Right.
Like they did. So I thought it was cool.
Yeah, it's like seeing bands record who don't want to have everything compressed to just a bar. Like it's
Right.
that's a whole other thing.
Yeah, it's a little over my head, but yeah. Um, let's see here. I want you to take this one because I know you love this news.
I actually do like this news because I think it's a good career move. Numi Rapace, who was in Prometheus, and spoiler alert for a crappy movie, her character survived, of course, because she's the lead character.
Hmm.
Uh, is not returning for Prometheus 2.
That's interesting because wasn't like that it's set off. She set off, and we were gonna follow her to. That's interesting.
That
How
was
what they're
that
gonna
was
pick
what it
up.
seemed like, and then everybody said, "Hey, we're supposed to follow a character, even though we couldn't follow the story."
Right. Yeah. No, it's weird. It's interesting that maybe. Do you think they're maybe just recasting her?
I think they may just swap. You know what? I don't know.
Uh,
I They may recast. That's entirely possible.
right. Yeah. All right. Well, we got some Guardian news. I saw a. Did you see the post? I think he did it on Twitter and Instagram. It was like him in the cast, like acting or whatnot,
Right.
and
It was him and some of them. Like Michael Rooker was there, and there were a couple others.
right, and they were showing like Batista, and they were like, whenever we want acting, tips, we just go to Batista, and he's
Right.
doing like a Shakespeare thing. Yeah. Well, apparently he tweeted out a tease that the full cast announcement should be coming soon.
Yeah.
Yep. So we'll get that. That's cool. So we'll get an idea of like, oh, who could that character, who could that actor be playing and portraying. So
Yeah.
I thought that was cool. Let's see here. What do we got? We got a lot of Disney news.
Yeah. We've got a couple different lists, and I
Hmm.
thought we'll just go down them because it won't take that long.
Right. We got they announced the release dates for a lot of their films. The first one being March 4th for Zootopia. That's the movie with like all the animals, and wasn't it like the sloths at the DMV?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. April 15th is The Jungle Book,
Yeah.
that's one of the first of the live action Disney films that I'm excited about. The cast is just
The
some
cast is spot on.
yeah,
It
yeah.
really is.
I can't wait to see Bill Murray as Baloo.
That's perfect. Like, if you're gonna think like, who do you cast as Baloo? You know that
Yeah.
the first name out of everybody's mouth was Bill Murray as kind of a joke,
Yeah.
and then of course when they sat down, they said, okay, who else? There were no other suggestions.
Right.
Like,
Exactly. Um, we got May 16th, which is Captain America: Civil War. I'm excited about. And we have May 27th, Alice Looking Through the Glass.
through the Looking Glass.
Through the Looking Glass. Um,
This is a terrible idea for two reasons. One, the Alice in Wonderland live action movie was awful,
right.
but I know it made like $500 million, so of course they made a sequel. Uh, seven
Hmm.
years later, I think.
Yeah.
And two, look at the date. It's 11 days after Civil War.
Wow.
Why
Yeah,
would
that's
they do
not.
that?
I have no
Why?
idea. Yeah, that's gonna bomb.
Because it's the same audience. Like it's not
Right.
like you're putting out. It's not the same company putting out Clerks and then Toy Story. Like you're not isolating. It's like, okay, here's a horror movie and then here's a fun lighthearted family affair. No, this is the same crowd.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't.
No, I agree. They should have saved that for more like October. You know.
It would have done a lot better in October.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. That kind of film just to me, when I think of Alice in Wonderland, I think more like Halloweenish or Octoberish. That kind of area is when I think about that kind of stuff.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they're thinking. It's gonna be swallowed up.
Yeah.
And I mean, isn't like Batman vs Superman and all that coming out around that time frame, or am I thinking wrong?
Uh, when in No,
Or
Batman Superman is March.
March. Okay, okay. So sorry about that. Yeah, no, that's weird. Well, we got June 17th, Finding Dory.
Yay.
Yep. July 1st, the BFG.
Yeah, it was that the next was that is that Spielberg?
I believe it is.
It's yeah, it's
Yeah,
something.
it's by Spielberg.
Yeah, the
Yep.
big friendly giant is what it
Oh yeah.
stands for.
Yeah, yeah. I talked to someone about it the other day, and they asked me that they're like, something about their favorite children's book, and they were like the BFG, and I was like, what is the big fucking gun? What are you talking about? I enjoy Doom. What do you? And she was like, no, it's about a giant. And I was like, oh, okay, I don't remember that, but I mean, all right,
Yeah.
I believe you. And I looked at the cover, and I was like, oh yeah, that's I've seen that in a bookshelf or two, I guess. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Um, but yeah, so uh, oh, I didn't know Spielberg was directing it. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
We got August 12th, Pete's Dragon.
I didn't know they were rebooting Pete's Dragon.
Pete's Dragon just sounds like an adult film, doesn't it?
I a little bit, yeah.
I don't know. That. Oh, Pete's Dragon. Okay.
Remember,
I
it was an animated movie. It was like in the '60s, wasn't it, or '70s?
right. I think I saw that as a kid. For some reason, I associated that image of him with like Puff the Magic Dragon.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Ah, that's a good song. We got in fall we have Queen of what?
Katwe.
Katwe.
Yeah.
What is that about?
It's from what I gather, it's a movie that I didn't read anything about.
Oh, is it a
So
book?
I don't know. It's a based on a true story thing, if I remember right.
Oh, okay. A girl from Uganda trains and becomes a world chess champion.
That's right. It was the chess movie. That's right. Yeah. Lupita Nyong'o is
Oh,
playing the.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So that'll
Awesome.
be good.
And David, I always mispronounce his name, Alawalo.
Oh,
He's in
Yolowo.
so many movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Great casting. I'm in.
Excellent.
Um,
Totally.
let's see. November 4th, Doctor Strange. Yeah.
Uh huh.
Oh, you're not excited?
I'm excited. I was agreeing
Okay.
with you.
Oh, man. November 23rd, Mona.
Moana.
Moana. Why did I? God, sorry about that. I see it now. Yeah, that's with The Rock, right?
Yeah, he's playing the Polynesian demigod Maui.
Is that why I'm seeing him in all these, like, he looks like he's doing voice acting booths
Yes.
on Instagram? Okay, that's what he's doing. He's like singing and stuff, so that's gonna be cool. He's kind of perfect for voices because of how animated he already is.
Oh yeah. Oh, he could do really well. I don't know what his range would be, but like if you needed he's somebody that you could typecast, and not only would he not be upset, but he would just crush it.
Right.
He would
Did you? Oh, go ahead.
he would absolutely just nail it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No, I totally agree. Did you see he got in a little bit of trouble for going off script at Raw?
Oh, for the yeah.
He
Okay.
went down and talked to the people dressed up, and I guess the WWE hates when people dress up, especially people that are no longer with the company or passed away or whatnot. But he got off stage and started talking to him and stuff.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty funny.
Well, I think the big thing was the Hulk Hogan guy, because they are trying to act like he doesn't exist anymore.
Right, exactly. It's like, wait a second, what? They're reminding people that legends exist.
Yeah.
I thought it was silly. Um, Man, The Rock's the best when he comes out. Let's see here. And I thought they paired him up with some good people too.
Yeah, he.
It's perfect.
It is. Yeah, it really is.
It's really good. All right, so we got December 16th, Rogue One. That's my most anticipated movie of the year.
There you go.
Of course, everyone knows that. And The Light Between Oceans is unknown, so it's going to come out at some point in time in the future. Now, what's that? Do you know anything about that?
I think the synopsis, it seemed like just like a romance movie. I may be entirely wrong, but that was how I read it anyway. When I saw like they put the little descriptions down, and I was like, oh, this doesn't sound interesting to me.
Right, yeah, it's got like a lighthouse on the cover. It looks like it was a book, so cool.
Probably.
All right, well there you go. Um, Disney doesn't really do that many romantic movies, so okay.
Well, that's not entirely true.
Well, but you know what I mean, like just straight romance.
True.
I
True.
can't think of a yeah. But okay, we got some other movie news. Filming production start dates and release dates for these upcoming films. Wolverine, the third, April 25th.
Yeah, this is when they all start principal photography.
If they don't put Wolverine in a yellow costume, I'm gonna be livid.
He made the yellow spandex joke in the first X-Men movie. Let it go.
No, oh man, I was looking at the Deadpool stuff, and you know the girl that's with Deadpool, like the X-Men character.
Yeah.
I forget her name. She's got like a really bizarre name.
Negasonic Teenage Warhead.
That's it. Yes, she's in the straight up yellow spandex, and
Well,
it's like,
because it's a Deadpool movie,
yes,
man.
but it's like we get that in a Deadpool movie. Give that us in a freaking X-Men movie. I looked at her and I was like, that looks awesome. It doesn't look ridiculous. It looks cool. It looks like she's on a team, and that's what X-Men needs to do. So, oh man, I want Wolverine in the yellow costume, and this is their last chance at doing it. So I hope they're smart and they give the fans what they want. But all right. So anyway, Avatar
If
2 is
if
April 14th.
if Fox was interested in giving the fans what they want, we would be having a lot more discussion about a Fantastic Four sequel because of how good the first one was.
No, you nailed it. You absolutely nailed it. Um, let's see here. We got
Sorry, I talked over Avatar 2. We'll go back to that one.
no, it's okay. Avatar 2 is April 14th.
Yeah, right around tax day. Hooray.
Yeah. Yeah. So they pushed that a little bit. We have Ghost in the now it doesn't say what year though, right?
This year. These are all like when they start
Oh.
filming this year.
Oh, start filming. Gotcha, gotcha,
Yeah.
gotcha. Okay. Ghost in the Shell is starting in February.
Yeah.
Blade Runner 2 is in July. Um, 50 Shades Darker is in February. I know you're waiting for that one.
Oh, with bated breath.
Yep. And Prometheus 2 in April, and Transformers 5, the fifth one, in May.
I'm so excited for those last three movies. You have no idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Transformers just gotten so bad. I never saw 50 Shades of Grey. I might do that. And Prometheus, I liked. So I guess Prometheus is no Transformers. I guess would be the one I'm most excited for, but I know it's going to be a bomb. Um,
Oh, it's
what else?
not gonna bomb. It's gonna suck, but it's not gonna bomb.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, never mind. Wrong phrase there. We got Thor Ragnarok. Director. How you pronounce his name? I can never do this.
Oh yeah, Taika Waititi.
Right. Says Hawk will be more conscious in upcoming film.
Yeah,
Um,
they're breaking out the Hulk to English dictionary. It seems like.
right. So yeah, I mean, that's good. You know, that needs to happen. Needs to make him a little bit more, intelligent. I like that kind of Hulk.
Yeah.
Uh, where he's more.
Well,
He can be Hulk the whole time, but he can be a little smarter.
yeah. And if again, like before I saw What We Do in the Shadows, I was like, who is this guy doing Thor? What? And then I forgot he was doing Thor, and then I saw the movie, and then I saw that he was doing Thor, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's gonna be good.
Oh yeah. 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 I can't wait for that, man. That got me way more excited about it the second I saw that film. Oh yeah. The thing is though, he also did Green Lantern.
Well, swing and a miss.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I like him for his other body of work.
I don't blame him for that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of the thing of where like I don't really blame Josh Trank for Fantastic Four because he was so used to his own control and his own setting that when he got thrown into something that wasn't that, like I think it was just culture shock.
Right. Exactly.
And I think he just
Well,
totally shut down.
yeah, no, I completely agree, and it's a good thing for us because we're gonna get it over in Marvel, I think. But we're gonna take a break here. Again, you're listening to We Geek Podcast on the N.FM, and we'll see you all in a minute. Welcome back to We Geek Podcast on the N.FM, and we got a little bit of movie news to go. We got some Power Ranger news.
Yeah, I saw this. I'm not sure how I feel about this.
I think it's kind of perfect. Elizabeth Banks cast as Rita Repulsa. Is that how you pronounce her last? I always
Yeah.
call her Rita. In the upcoming reboot film.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess maybe I was just looking for more sinister-ish than comedy. But what do I know?
Yeah, no, I mean it's. I see it. I totally see it. It's.
Oh, she'll do well.
Yeah. 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 I think it's pretty good casting. That's gonna be so. It's gonna be such a nostalgia trip to go to the movie theater, grab some popcorn and a soda, and see Power Rangers on the big screen again.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be much like Ninja Turtles, I guess, for me. Like it's like that was such a staple of my childhood.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I just hope it was as enjoyable as Ninja Turtles, which is a phrase I didn't think I would have said before that movie came out.
Yeah, exactly, man. I'm so pumped for Ninja Turtles too. Like, it is everything from our cartoon show in childhood, you know. So,
Yeah.
I'm so glad it's back. A lot of my friends' kids, they're just so into it, and I'm like, yeah, Donnie, like I can talk to you. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, right?
I can make you like me, and you know, you don't cry the whole time, you know. So, yeah. But yeah, so I'm excited for it. We got Miles Ahead trailer for upcoming Miles Davis biopic starring Don Cheadle. Did you see this? I didn't see it.
I did. Looks good.
It
Looks
looks good.
good.
Yeah, he's a great actor, and yeah, I'm definitely in.
Yeah.
I love those kind of pictures. You know, what would you call them? Like time period or historical pictures or
They're biopics.
biopics? That
Yeah.
wow, I'm off today. I'm really off today. Sorry about that.
That's all right. It's early.
Yeah, exactly. We got Fast and Furious news. Vin Diesel reveals dates for the next sequel in the franchise. Nine, Fast and Furious 9 to be released April 19th, 2019. Okay. 10 to be released April 2nd, 2021. Wow, dude, we're just Fast and Furious into the future.
And this is not, this is just the main franchise.
Oh yeah, that's right. We're getting a spin-off, right?
We're getting a universe.
Okay. Yeah, I remember now talking about that.
Yeah. How they're going to do that, I don't know. But
That is odd. Yeah, we're gonna get a universe, the Fast and Furious.
hey, as long as they make money, I guess.
Man, I am still so mad about Han. Like that was my favorite. Ugh. But I digress. All right, so last bit of movie news. Screenwriter Ronnie Rotman got his start as a writer for Letterman. Basically, before he worked on screenplays for Grudge Match and 22 Jump Street, he'll be making his he's directing debut for a movie called The Something.
The
It's
something.
got yeah, The Something. It's got Hader, Seth Rogen, and Zach Galifianakis. They're basically yeah,
Oh, I
yeah.
don't
So
even care what they're doing. I'm in.
exactly. Yeah. Oh man, those three together. And basically they're playing three astronauts who are sitting in a tin can far above the world. And an encounter a in quotations something after being stranded for years.
Oh
Um,
god.
yeah. So it's basically let's get these three guys in a room and they're astronauts, and that is gold. That is comedy gold.
and
So
and I have to wonder, like, just how much of an actual writing process went into that.
oh yeah.
Like, just kind of set him down and let him riff and see what happens.
Oh yeah. If I could tell a quick story for just a moment,
Go for it.
The dentist, I believe it's a dentist hygienist. It was when I go to the dentist. It's the people that before the dentist come in. She told me this story about how her son knew Bill Hader as a kid. It was his best friend, and so much so that it was his best man in his wedding. And she says he's always hysterical every time he comes over for dinner. He's just a riot. They love it. You know, it's like she's like, it's having our own little personal comedian, and we've seen him come such a long way. And so he was the best man for the wedding. So she said she came up for the wedding, and she said hi to him and everything else. And he said he was telling her he took it so serious that he said he was telling her how he got there. He said he put his leg up on a step real fast, and he kind of put his elbow on his knee, and he goes, I was here about 5 a.m. I set up the whole stage. And he basically just said how he did the entire wedding. No one else did any work. He made sure he did everything. I don't know. It sounds stupid right now saying it, but the way she explained it, it was hilarious that he just took credit for the entire wedding.
Oh, there you go.
I
Hey,
just
why
thought
not?
I just thought that is perfect. That's great. So, apparently he's a really good dude. So, yeah, I can't wait to see that movie.
Nice.
It sounds fun. But yeah, man, let's get in some TV news. American Gods. Ricky Whittle, the 100, cast as lead Shadow Moon. What's American Gods? Do you know anything about this?
Okay, that's our book this week. You're going to read that this week. We've
Okay.
decided.
Okay, all right. There you go. There you have it. Our book for the week is going to be American Gods. You want to
Yes.
tell me a little bit about it?
It's by Neil Gaiman, and if you need to know any more,
Oh,
then
okay,
don't listen
yeah.
to the show
Oh,
anymore. No, it's American Gods it's the story of, like, hey, everybody, it's what gods are all culture based. You go back through the pantheons, you have gods of the harvest and of this and of that and so on. You have gods of the household and so on. What happened when they came to America? Well, did those old traditions die? Well, more like they got replaced. Now we have the gods of credit and so on and so on. So
Wow.
it's an interesting look at modern. I hesitate to say worship in that sense, but you get what I mean, like idolatry
Right.
of just like here, think about money.
Hmm.
Money is more important than anything anymore. That kind of thing.
Yeah,
And
no, it's weird. It's odd. When you said American Gods, I didn't know what to think. And when you said Neil Gaiman, you know what's weird that came into my head immediately?
what?
Superheroes. That's kind of Americans' gods in a way, right? Like that's where Superman, Batman, Spider-Man. Like I know it has nothing to do with the book, and I can't wait to read it. But for some weird reason, when you said American Gods and Neil Gaiman, I thought superheroes are kind of like a modern day mythology.
That's very true.
Yeah. Oh, that's weird. Yeah, no, I'm in, dude. Neil Gaiman,
Yeah.
American Gods. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
So
this
I take it you're excited for the
I'm
show?
very excited for this. It's gonna be on Stars,
Okay.
so they're gonna be, and it needs to be because
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
But I like this casting. I do. I don't watch the 100. I'm not familiar with Ricky Whittle, but he has the kind of look that this character needs. Just in
Hmm.
terms of the leanness, the physique, like he looks like this is the guy they needed to get.
Right. Oh yeah, no, dude, I'm totally in. Absolutely. Um, all right, let's see here. We got some Justice League action. New WB animated show coming to Cartoon Network will feature the return of Kevin Conroy as Batman and Mark Hamill as the Joker.
Yes, yes,
Yes.
yes. I will watch it 1,000 times. I don't care.
So, because here's the thing. I thought his last thing was going to be this movie coming out. So I guess he's going to do the show until whenever.
I would imagine, yeah.
Yeah. So I guess the last movie gig he's doing as the Joker is going to be
Well,
the
and I mean, he said that whole thing of like the Killing Joke would be the last thing he would do way back when.
right.
Like this was before all of this kind of kept opening up the way it did.
Right,
But now
that's
there's
true. And I think technically probably Justice League Action will come out before the Killing Joke, right?
I
Or
don't
no?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. Could go either way.
Gotcha. Gotcha. All right. Let's see here. What else we got? You take the next one.
Yeah, I figured you were gonna turn this one over to me.
Yeah.
We've seen the rumblings and the rumors and everything for really for months now. But Netflix has finally confirmed, yes, they are working on a 4 episode, 90-minute apiece revival of Gilmore Girls,
Yeah.
and they've tapped pretty much all of the big names to come back. Lauren Graham, Alexis Bledel, Scott Patterson, Sean Gunn is coming back, which is fantastic. Kelly Bishop, Kiko Agena, they're all coming back. Um, Melissa McCarthy is not coming back because apparently nobody asked.
Right. Yeah, that's
And I,
weird.
well, here's what I think happened. Because one half of the creative team on the show, Amy Sherman Palladino, had said at one point that that Melissa was so busy with everything she's doing because she's gotten, she's a bona fide star.
Oh yeah.
And so but she had said she'd left the door open, like if she has time, we would love to have her come by and do something. And then Melissa tweeted the other day, she was never asked, she wishes everybody well, so on and so on. I'm
Right.
thinking that it was a case of their people talked to her people, and nobody on either side actually knew what was going on.
Right.
Like
That's
I
that's
think it was more like the agents said, here's this and here's that, and they said, well, this won't work because of this, and I think that's what happened, because that's what I like to think, that this wasn't just a slight or something.
How important was her character to the show?
It's, pretty important.
Oh wow.
She
Well,
was she was she was Lauren Graham's character's best friend, so I would go with pretty important.
oh wow. Well, maybe she'll be in for season 2. Now that they've it's all out in the open. Hey, you guys didn't talk to me. Then maybe they'll get that for a season 2.
Well, and
You
they're
think they'll do well, not season 2, but you know what I mean.
yeah, well, they're not quite done filming what they're doing now yet.
Oh,
They
okay.
haven't done. I don't even know if they've actually even started filming.
Oh, well then
They could easily work her
yeah.
in somewhere.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
who knows? That
yeah.
kind of leaves if they haven't started filming, they would I guess have to do a lot of rewrites, but I don't know.
I think they could bring it, and they should. And
Yeah.
I hope that this was just a communication issue.
Right.
But
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yep. Um, Real fast. I'm gonna jump around here, and I don't think we have this on here. Did you see the Netflix released the still of the Fuller House?
Oh yeah, I had seen that.
Yeah, and it shows like all the cast and characters and whatnot in it. I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's like,
Uh,
hey, they got old.
yeah, exactly. Yep, pretty much. And yeah, it looked cool. But we got here the CW orders 6 new pilots, including modern day retelling of Archie, titled Rivendell, and the TV reboot of the 2002 film Frequency,
Yeah.
which is cool. Oh man, we're gonna get Archie on the same channel as the Flash. What a time!
I Can you just imagine like the Flash sprinting from Central City to Riverdale, just like I don't.
Yeah, they could do a crossover. Like that's what's crazy about all this.
Betty,
God,
Barry, Barry, Betty.
yeah, and I hope that they just for the
Uh,
fun of it do a Halloween episode and do the zombie stuff, and then it's a dream or something.
right.
Like that would be great.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
Archie's kind of primed for like it could totally work on the CW.
Archie is a perfect CW show.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
it's definitely their way of going back to their roots in a sense. They're getting away from because it was like it's the teen drama, and now they're going to the supernatural drama, and now the superhero or the supernatural romance things
Mhm.
with the vampires and whatnot. And then they went to superheroes, and now they're kind of coming back around. It's like, well, let's do a high school style teen romance thing like we used to do.
Yeah, exactly. And it would all they have to do is look at the new comic, take that and put it onto a TV show.
There you go.
Yeah, it's perfect for it. So, yeah, dude, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm excited for an Archie TV show. Yeah, no, it really am. What else was? We talked about it before about the CW canceling. I'm sorry, the TNT not going forward with Teen Titans.
Right.
Now, could this mean that the CW could pick something like that up?
They could. They
Teen
could.
Titans is the other franchise where I know the CW has said we're gonna relax a little bit with the comic book stuff because they have 3 shows now.
Yeah.
If they picked up one more, I think Teen Titans would be perfect because it's
Well,
that teen
four.
angst.
Four technically.
Oh yeah,
iZombie, yeah.
iZombie. That's right. That's right. But you know what I mean? Because iZombie's not really connected to those. If I'm saying if they had it connected.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Right, right. Teen Titans would be perfect, and there you can, if you got the one guy who plays Arsenal, what's his name? He left the show, the
Yeah,
Red Arrow.
but he's coming back.
Right, right. But I'm saying he could helm that. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
yeah, it would be perfect. And then, oh man, yeah. I think I think that has something to do with maybe why they canceled. Maybe they had to deal with TNT. I don't know. But
Well, and I look at it this way, like, and look at some of the other supporting characters. Like we have, we're going to have a second speedster at some point.
yep.
We're teasing maybe a third.
Yeah, we got Wally.
So we've got, well, that's who I was talking about between him
Oh, okay.
and Jesse.
Yeah.
That may happen, may not. We'll see how that goes.
See, it's
But
gonna get a little crowded, just like Arrow did.
yeah, and so what did they do with that? They gave them all their own show.
And it's the best.
We're gonna talk about that.
Yeah, it really is, man. So, oh man, yeah, I can't wait. We also got a little bit more news. The Cruel Intentions, NBC orders pilot for TV series sequel to the 1999 movie.
Hooray! Something I didn't know I didn't want.
Well, we'll talk about that when we get back. But again, you're listening to We Geek Podcast on the N.FM, and we'll see you all in a minute. Welcome back to We Geek Podcast on the N.FM, and real fast, talk a little bit about the Cruel Intentions show, and then we'll move on to video games. That show that movie was the movie when I was in high school. That was, before Netflix and chill. It was Cruel Intentions and chill because
Really?
oh, I'm telling you, it was. And you ask any girl, any woman our age, back then that was the movie that just set it off for them. Every time it worked like it was clockwork. So, Cruel Intentions. So I'm surprised NBC picked it up. That's totally HBO or something because just the sexual tension and everything else. I mean, you could do it on NBC, but it's odd. It's not something you would sit and watch with your family. That's something you sit and watch with your girlfriend, or if you're a girl, you sit and watch with your boyfriend or whatnot. So so that's just it's odd, So, but yeah. So a sequel to it. Okay, everything's getting a sequel, including Cruel Intentions for some reason.
You're right.
Right. But man, let's hop into some video games. All right, man. So we don't have much video game news to talk about, but we do have a little bit. We got some. We'll go over the games for gold and the PlayStation Plus. And by the way, if you have a PC, you can get one of the Need for Speed games is now free on Origin.
Yeah, it's the most wanted. It was from 2011, 2012.
Yep. So, free PC game. There you go. But for the games for gold, the February lineup announced Hand of Fate, Xbox One, and that's free all month for you to download. Styx, Master of the Shadows. I believe we had that on PlayStation Plus.
Yeah, that was last month for PlayStation.
Right, and that's February 16th to March 15th. Was it Sacred Citadel?
Yeah.
For the Xbox 360, February 1st to the 15th, and Gears of War 2 for the 360 for February 16th through the 29th.
Right, and all of the 360 titles moving forward are backwards compatible. So that's
awesome.
Good. Yeah.
Cool. Will you take Plus?
Yeah. The Plus lineup announced Grid Autosport for PS3. I never played the first one, but I played the crap out of the sequel. I played so much. I almost platinumed Grid 2. That was crazy.
Nice.
Also for PS3, Persona 4 Arena Ultimax, because these games don't have enough subtitles.
Man, Persona 4 is such a good game, though. Oh, man, such a good game. I don't know about this arena stuff, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On PS... and we'll do the crossover here, is Helldivers, Democracy Strikes Back, which I've heard good reviews about, but I still know nothing about it.
Okay, so I have this. I bought it when it first came out.
Okay, and it's gonna. Let me say real quick. It's gonna be for PS4, PS3, and Vita.
Yes, and that's perfect because if you own a Vita, me and 1,000 of you, you can pick it up on the Vita, play it, and then when you put it down, and then pick it up on your PlayStation 4, all your saves, everything is in the same spot. So you can play it on your couch, go into the bathroom, whatever, put it down, turn it off, pick up your PlayStation 4, and you can just start right where you left off. It's 4-player co-op. So it's a top-down twin-stick shooter. So think Diablo first-person or Diablo shooter. So it's a twin-stick. You're moving around. You have a bazillion different upgrades, armor, and all that other stuff. The more you advance, the more loot and everything else you get. And what's fun is it's super, super hard. Like, it starts you out and it holds your hand a little bit. You get used to the controls. You get used to what you're supposed to do. You get dropped on basically a planet. And you have goals within your what you have to do. You have to get to here. You got to get to there. You got to do this, and then you finish the mission. So it's all mission based. And then there's three different factions of enemies. I think one are robots, one are like aliens, and one are I don't know. I forget the other ones. But it's really fun, and that's the best thing about it is hopping in with 3 other friends. And it's stressful. You could die really fast if you screw up. But it's fun, man. That's what's fun about it is it's challenging, and my group that I play Destiny with, I've convinced them all because it's free. You can't go, oh well, you have to try it out. So we're gonna be playing that this week. I think a lot. So I can't wait for it. So if you that's my game to get for anyone listening. If you have any of the games, get them all. But that's the one you should really kind of dive into because that's kind of the big one this month.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. We've got a couple Vita exclusives. Lemmings Touch. I'm assuming that's another game in the Lemmings series instead of just they slapped the name on something else.
Right.
And then Nova 111. I know nothing about those games because they're Vita games, really. So,
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I Lemmings Touch I imagine is just a Lemmings game, right?
yeah, I would think so.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see here. Okay, cool. We got let's see, I'm scrolling back up here. We got some Saint Rose Undercover iOS for canceled PSP game released online by Violation. So
Volition.
Volition. So what's going on with this?
This was Volition worked on a Saints Row game for PSP. It was called Saints Row Undercover, and then in the midst of everything that happened, it got scrapped.
Oh, okay.
And they said, okay, well, we've got a mostly kind of finished prototype version that we did. We're just going to put the ISO out on the net and, go play, have fun, do whatever.
Okay.
Like they're like, this is not an ongoing project. It's done. We're not picking it up again. So here, you might as well enjoy it.
Awesome. Yeah. Cool. Sounds good. We got some Nintendo news. Bandai Namco developing multiple games for the NX.
That'll be interesting.
Yeah, and that's huge. That's good. We need more third-party support.
Yeah.
Rumors suggest Smash Bros. To be the Nintendo NX launch title. Likely a Game of the Year edition port of the Wii U 3DS version.
Yeah.
A company announced profits down 35% due to the drop of the Wii U and 3DS sales.
Yeah, that's the part that hurts.
That's huge, man. Yeah, and that's the thing. Nintendo, I think a lot of people look at Nintendo, they're like, well, they have kind of like Apple, like they have Apple money. Nintendo has Nintendo money. They're not going to go anywhere anytime soon. You can have a screw up of a console with Nintendo. That's okay, but
yeah,
the next one has to come back.
Well, and I mean, here's the thing, I don't know, like the Wii U bailed them out after the GameCube tanked.
Yes.
But then, they climbed out of that hole just to dig themselves another one with the Wii U.
Right.
And even towards the end of the Wii's life cycle, they started digging that hole again.
Yeah.
It didn't, once everybody on the planet bought a Wii, there was nowhere else to go.
Right, yeah. They sold the console, but there was nothing to put on it.
Yeah.
Substantial to survive, like Sony and Microsoft have been doing.
Right.
They have substance to it. And Nintendo makes great first-party games, but outside of that is where they really failed.
Right. That's not enough.
Right. Exactly. And I think it was because they're trying to marry that being different and being relevant. You can be different, but when you make your game so completely different to play, a studio is not going to they're going to look at these other two studios and go, we can make a game that can sell on both of those, but for the Wii we have to change it completely.
Yeah.
In order to play it. That's why I really think they need to go back to their Super Nintendo days, where it's like very normal control, easy to get into, and a lot of third-party support. And that's the only way I think they can come back.
Right. Let the innovation be in online features and first-party titles.
Exactly.
Don't try to out innovate your competition just to say that you can, because then you're not going to get, nobody developed for the gamepad. Everybody looked at this and said, this is too much of a hassle, forget it.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And the Splatoon is a prime example. That's a first-person shooter. You innovated in what it was, not like how it controlled. You can have that as a third-person or first-person controller with a normal controller.
Right.
you don't have to have this weird wonky thing, and that's where I think they always, it's great that they always push the envelope. And I mean, let's not forget they're the ones that came out with the triggers and everything else. So it's like those are great, and you should do that kind of thing. But when you go too far off the rails, that you get the Wii U. And
Yeah.
marketing and everything else was horrible for that too. Yeah. But let's see here. What else we got? We got Ghostbusters. Activision reportedly developing new Ghostbusters game release alongside the new film, which makes sense.
Sure. And
Yeah.
the last Ghostbusters video game was actually pretty good.
Yeah, yeah. I remember you telling me about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's cool. Because I think the only Ghostbuster thing you can get now is the Lego one for Lego Dimensions.
Yeah.
Yeah. You go ahead and take the next one here.
Killer Instinct Season 3, the next new fighter was announced. It's the Arbiter from Halo.
So what's the Arbiter?
Okay, the Arbiter was in he debuted in Halo 2. He's an elite, basically, and they gave him fancy armor, pretty much.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's basically just an elite, more or less,
Oh,
which
okay.
makes a good choice. That would be a good choice to put in a fighting game for sure.
That's kind of perfect. Yeah, I'm looking at him right now.
Yeah, like
That makes sense.
that would definitely work.
Yeah. Bethesda, a company announces E3 press conference to be held June 12th at 7 p.m. Eastern, post standard time.
Right, same thing they did last year on the night before everything kicks off. They're doing theirs.
Yeah, which I mean, I don't know what I mean, I guess they have Doom and stuff.
Yeah, we're gonna see more Doom. We'll see Fallout 4 DLC.
Okay.
We'll see some Elder Scrolls Online stuff, I'm sure.
Cool, cool, cool. And
I'm
they're
not
like
sure.
card game or something.
Right. I'm not
Oh man,
sure what else though.
yeah, it's odd. I thought they were gonna skip this year, honestly. Like, just like EA is apparently skipping this year.
Yeah, well, goodbye and good riddance.
Right, exactly. Yeah, theirs don't make much sense. Every 2 years makes sense for them.
Yeah.
But what we'll do, we're going to take a break here. Again, you're listening to We Geek Podcast on the N.FM, and we will see you all in a minute. Welcome back to We Geek Podcast on the N.FM, and we got a little bit more video game news to talk about. This next one I really loved.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure.
Yeah, Lego Star Wars: The Force Awakens. Following the leak, Warner Brothers Interactive announced Lego game based on and around Episode 7 will be released in June. Released on June 28th, and the game, it's about The Force Awakens, and it also is going to have some chapters before The Force Awakens.
Oh, nice.
Yes, absolutely. So it's going to tell you, some of the goofy versions of the stories of, Finn, Poe, and Rey, kind of before everything that happened. There are also going to be some C-3PO stuff, I guess, about like how he gets his red arm and whatnot. And yeah, dude, I can't wait, man. Did you see the trailer?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was adorable. I thought it was funny with Poe in the X-wing and oh man, I thought it was cute. But yeah, dude, it's more Lego, it's more Star Wars. They kind of went away from Star Wars for a little bit. They did all the movies, they did the Clone Wars, and that was it. And now that Lego has evolved, the video game has evolved so much to just huge heights with like the games like Avengers and whatnot. Now it's going to be interesting to see how they do Star Wars in that kind of setting.
Right.
Kind of back to their roots because that's how they became so popular in the video game world. So I'm excited for it. That's a day one buy for me. And hopefully we'll platinum it. Those games are a lot of fun.
There you go.
I doubt it'd be like open world or anything like the Avengers game is, but we'll see.
Probably not. It'll probably be more linear.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And man, I hear nothing but good things about Lego Dimensions. It's just that price tag. I can't. That's not something I can do right now.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was like, no. I mean, $100. I'd rather get. I don't know. I'd rather and then I just know that. Oh, if you want this expansion, this Ghostbuster expansion, you have to spend another $15 or $30.
Yeah.
It's not for me. So maybe sometime down the road when the whole game drops to like $20 or $30 in the store, then
Right.
I'll be in. But until then, no, thank you. But yeah, we got some Pokemon Go news. You go ahead and take it.
Yeah. Niantic, who's developing it, is at GDC later this year. They're doing a panel called Pokemon Go. It's called Catch 'Em All: Pokemon Go and Real World Gaming.
Oh,
So
nice.
we're gonna get some more details about it, especially like how it's gonna work and so on and whatnot. And I'm looking forward to it. Give me any news about this. I don't care.
Oh
I'll
yeah.
take it.
Apparently, I don't know what month it starts, but we're going to be getting a new shiny or I'm sorry, new legendary Pokemon
Started this month.
started this month.
Yes,
Okay.
if you go to GameStop now, they'll give you a code you can redeem for a Mew.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah,
That's awesome. So it's a you get a Mew if you go to GameStop.
right. Yeah, they're doing that this month, and then it continues. And they're doing all the greatest hits: Celebi, Arceus, all of them.
Oh, nice.
And
Awesome.
it's gonna run. It's running through. I think through. It's the last one is gonna be next January, if I remember right.
Oh, okay. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad they're. I need to go. I haven't touched my maybe I haven't touched my 3DS in forever, but I never really finished Pokemon either, so
There you go.
I might do that. I've just been caught up with so much other stuff. I'm gonna jump around a bit here and kind of go off script for a moment. There was this one game that I did download, Banner Saga. Have you ever heard of it?
I think so.
It's really good. It's really good. It's like a Final Fantasy type. Uh, uh, when I say that, it's like a JRPG in the way you battle and whatnot. But it's like the story of these Vikings and whatnot. It's really cool. I just wanted to mention it for just a second, just because it's really well animated and it's a fun like JRPG style type game. Also, it was like this Kung Fu Panda Hearthstone type game on the iPad. So if you're listening and you like Hearthstone, go download it. It's basically, I think it's just called Kung Fu Panda, but it's the only thing on the iPad you'll see. It's like a card game. Let's see here. We got some Final Fantasy news. Final Fantasy Uncovered. Square Enix announces event to take place on March 30th will reveal our details about Final Fantasy. What is it?
15.
15, including release dates. Hosted by Greg Miller and Tim Geddes. Oh, I love them. I saw this earlier this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Oh, man. Those two. They just did their basically for year two for Kind of Funny. Those are the guys from Kind of Funny. If you don't know, they came from IGN. They have their own thing on Kind of Funny. They raised like over $75,000 this month because they're doing their own animated TV show.
Holy crap.
Yes, and they're Nick Scarpino on the show. He's the guy. He's like their film guy. He's all into film and whatnot. He was the cameraman for IGN, the lead camera guy that left with them, and he's obsessed with film. So whenever they talk about film on the show, he's always like holding his hands on his head when the other people talk about film because they're just like Superman 2 is the best movie ever, So he so it's kind of funny, but yeah, he's writing it, and I think it's Colin Moriarty's brother, who is something to do with like Sesame Street or whatnot. I don't know, probably mixing all this up, but he's animating it, and so they did a pilot episode. The episodes are really short, but they're doing like a full season of it. And they raised all that money so that they can do it and they can be great and have all these extra shows and all this extra content for their Patreon. So
Nice.
yeah, that's cool. There was some other strange video game news I wanted to talk about before we get into comics, but
Okay. What you got?
Kojima and Del Toro are apparently going to reunite this month for a speech at is the Dice that's doing it.
Oh yeah, the Dice Awards.
The Dice Awards, yeah. So
Yeah.
they're gonna I
Cool.
guess get on stage and just talk about each other's careers, at the Dice Summit in Las Vegas in February, um, according to Kotaku. So I thought that was odd. I who knows? Maybe they'll announce something that they're doing.
They just might.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. Um, but I think that's it. I think that sums up video game news this week, unless you had anything else.
No, I think that was everything I found.
Okay, cool, cool, cool. All right, well, let's go right into comic books. Hanna-Barbera DC Comics to launch multiple new series featuring old characters. The Flintstones, Future Quest, mashup of Space Ghost and Johnny Quest, and the Herculoids, Wacky Raceland, and Scooby Apocalypse.
Yeah, Wacky Raceland is like Mad Max meets Wacky Races.
Yeah, that was the cartoon show with like the dog that was like or
Yeah,
whatever, right?
yeah. You had Snidely Whiplash, and you had
Yeah.
oh my God, there was Penny, and it was just
Yeah.
it was good times. It was good
Yeah.
times.
Yeah. Um, that's cool. Now we haven't really talked much about it. What do you think about their? I mean, we did before, but what do you think about their relaunch? I mean, do you think they're going to completely go back to the old DC? Do you think they're going to reboot it or?
I couldn't tell you. I think
Yeah.
I think what's gonna happen is it's not gonna be like a complete and total restructure. It's not gonna be a new 52 all over again. I
Okay.
don't think that's what they're gonna do. I think they're gonna reorient towards being a little more film-ish. Um, like they're canceling Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman Superman, and they're gonna launch a new book called Trinity, for example. Like they're gonna like consolidate so it's a little more in line with the films.
Right.
And I think that's what they're gonna do. They're launching what's because one of their newer books is called Man of Steel, so it's gonna be I don't think it's gonna be a big seismic shift kind of thing.
Right.
I don't I think it's just gonna be like a refocusing of sorts.
Okay. Yeah. No. I think you nailed it. I think you're right. It's I gotta say, it does get me interested because I think they were like, "Oi, what's going on? What's going on with our sales?" And you think it was a plan all along that after 52 weeks they were gonna they were gonna just reboot it?
I don't know, but it makes you wonder like what did the new 52 mean? Like did they
Right.
cuz I don't know, did they actually launch 52 new titles
Well, this time
at
I don't.
first?
At first they did, yes.
Okay.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Before we move on to reviews, did you know we have a couple again in comic books that are dating again?
Oh, who is it now?
Gambit and Rogue.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
apparently for Uncanny Avengers. I gotta catch up on comics to be honest, man. I've seriously fallen off. I read like the Star Wars comics, but I want to get back into like Avengers and stuff again. I don't know what's going on. Marvel man, it's really that Secret Wars. It really goofed everything up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's I don't know. But let's get into reviews, man. Where do we even begin? Should we start with the Alchemist?
Yeah, might as well.
Yeah, what'd you think of it?
That was interesting. I needed something like that.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. It's really odd. I mean, it's basically to me the way I saw it was like it was a book to basically tell you to follow your dreams.
All right. It was a modern kind of fairy tale in a sense.
Exactly. Yeah. Apparently, it's got a lot of religious undertones. If you get into it, like the names and the people and whatnot, like
Right.
Santiago and all that stuff, in the church and whatnot. Apparently it was much to do with the religion, but besides that, it was just you have a dream, you need to go do it. I picked it just because I heard a lot of my friends talking about it and how like it was motivational and yeah, and it was short too. It wasn't that long at all. It was a quick read, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. And like you said, it was just something I kind of needed. I wanted to, don't worry, we'll get back to doing Star Wars books when it's my pick. But I wanted something different because, that's really been the theme of this year is going and being different and putting myself out in like outside of my comfort zone and doing stuff. I got some ideas of the reviews I'm going to be doing soon. Just kind of need to do a haircut first and get a nice camera for my computer, and then I can do the movie reviews and whatnot. So this book kind of made me like go do that. You know what I mean? It's one of those motivational type things. But I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say about it?
No, it's just I really
Okay.
dug it. Like it was a good. I like this sort of like what's the I'm gonna get kicked for this. What was the style? There was a touch of magical realism about it, and
Yes.
I
Yes.
really liked. It wasn't tremendously prevalent. It wasn't like you get in some of Garcia Marquez's works, but it was enough to say, look, there's a pinch of fantasy in this,
Right,
just
exactly.
just a little,
Yep.
and
Yeah,
I dug
it
that.
reminds me of like just stories that people told over time,
Exactly.
and they were modern day 2015. You're like, someone told you that, you'd be like bullshit, but it's all the stories told over time. Like, I don't want to say the Bible, but it's kind of that I can see why a lot of religious people look at this book and they see the undertones
Right.
and they see the story and the meaning and the but yeah, so I don't know, I thought it was good. So the book that we're going to be reading this week, I wrote it down. What was it called again? The
American Gods.
American Gods by Neil Gaiman. So I'm
Yes.
excited for that.
Yeah, you need to read by the end, and let me know when you finish the first chapter,
Okay, we'll do.
because that's when I want to take like a litmus test, sort of like, and how are you enjoying this book?
Yeah, I'll be picking that up today, so I'll let you know today for sure. Um, uh, well, actually, it would be tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, I'll let you know. But yeah, so well, that's it for the yeah, man. So where should we even start? We got video games, we got movies, we got TV shows. Well, actually, maybe no movies, but where do you want to begin? You want to do
Uh,
video games first?
yeah, might as well.
Okay, all right. Have you been playing anything you wanted to review?
No, I haven't been playing anything new. I've been playing a lot of Uncharted, and I think that's kind of been it. Uh,
Gotcha.
more
Okay.
or less. Like I haven't. My next big thing will be uh the next Naruto game, Ultimate Ninja Storm 4, comes out
Oh,
next
okay.
week, so that's my next big.
I'm surprised you didn't pick up Digimon.
I you know the Digimon games have always kind of disappointed me.
Really? This one's been getting like crazy good reviews.
Yeah, I don't know. Like it's one of those where like I fell off the franchise a long time ago, and it
Oh,
would be
okay.
like there's a new game, and I'm like I'll rent it, and then it turned out to be a good choice to
Oh,
just
okay.
to not. So I don't know. I'll look into this one.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you got GameFly, so. Um, but yeah, no, I've been just what have I been playing? Battlefront, a little bit of um Destiny, and the big one is The Witness. And
Yeah, tell me about this.
yeah, and this isn't really a review per se. It's more of like, hey, I've only played this much of it, and this is what I think of it. Um, it is brilliant. It is the game that I didn't know I wanted to play, and I am completely obsessed with.
Nice.
And the only reason, like I said, the only reason I played Destiny was in Battlefront is because my friends, it's all they were playing. The Witness is like, sorry guys, I like talking with you guys, or whatever, but peace out. I'm gonna just get in this, and so yeah, I mean, basically, um, it's a puzzle game, but it's not a puzzle game as in like, hey, let's just do puzzles. You're, it has the coldest opening for a video game ever. Um, you're just in a tunnel. There's no start, there's no witness, there's no nothing. You're just standing turn on the game, you're standing in a tunnel. You go forward, there's a simple little thing, it's a line, you move the cursor from one end to the other and it unlocks the door and suddenly you're open from this hatch. It's very much like Lost kind of, I guess. Like there's all these weird things all over the island. And so I can totally see why people are like saying it's a puzzle game as if you're on the Lost Island because it's weird. And it's cool because the puzzles it trains you. It's like, okay, so I'm supposed to do this, I'm supposed to do that, and every puzzle adds something, and you have to figure out what they're trying to tell you to do.
Right.
And so like one of the first sections is like you see a bunch of different puzzles. And then you realize, oh, I was supposed to do puzzle over here first before I did the puzzle over here, or else that door's not going to open. And then you get past the tutorial area, and then you get into it's beautiful, the game is gorgeous, like you walk into these trees and it is so, I don't know, for the PlayStation 4 it's absolutely beautiful. And you get up to a puzzle, I'll give you an example, and I'm like, it shows almost like trees, and I'm like, what am I, oh, there's trees in front of me, oh, those look like branches, oh, I see an apple on one of the branches, so you do the little design up to that branch, and then like it gets more difficult where they'll reverse the trees, and I won't get too far into it, this is just a tease. um and it starts to get into shapes and colors, and eventually I hear sounds, the way you're supposed to do these puzzles, and apparently it's all not just line puzzles. The what I'm doing right now is a lot of lines, but it gets so abstract. There was one puzzle, where you're supposed to, for so long you're looking at everything within a grid, and I'm looking at this and I'm like, what am I supposed to do? Because it just looks like bullshit in front of me. You know what I mean? Like that's the only way to explain it. You're like, and you're sitting there for 5 minutes, 10 minutes sometimes, and you're just racking your brain the whole time. The answer's right in front of you. And that's what I
Nice.
find
Yeah.
so great about it is that you're looking at the answer. It's there, and once you realize it, and you're like, oh, I was supposed to think outside of the box. I wasn't even supposed to be looking at this. I was supposed to be looking at that. I'm supposed to be watching this, and you're like, okay. Then you move on to the next puzzle, and you take that, and you're like, how are they twisting it in this one? And apparently, it has like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of puzzles in the game. This could be an 80-hour game easy. Apparently, speed runs, of course, if you know all the puzzles, people did it in like a few, I think like, like an hour or whatnot.
I saw
But
one dude did it in 26 minutes.
right, exactly. So that
Yeah.
that dude knew the whole game from top to bottom, wrote down all the answers, and just jettisoned through everything. But if you're like me, you're sitting there for just a while, like, how am I supposed to do this? And I'm basically at a sun temple right now, where I won't say what. When you get there, you're just like, this is very different from everything I just did. What am I supposed to do? And you just look at everything, and you're like, there's no hints, no one's holding your hands, no one's coddling you, and that's what I love about it. If you love puzzle games, if you like the puzzles and like Zelda and stuff like that, this is the game for you. This is a must buy. This got a perfect score on all the major websites, I believe, especially like
Nice.
IGN gave it 10 out of 10.
Nice. Yeah,
So
and it's how much now? Because it can't be full price.
it's $40. But here's the thing. I see that a lot. People saying this can't be a full price game. I haven't played a game and I had this much fun in a
Well,
long time.
what
That was
what I'm
challenging.
yeah, I just meant like it's not a like you're not
Right.
going to see a $60 indie game is what I meant.
Exactly. And this game has made millions. I looked at the I don't know if you want to if you could look it up how much The Witness has made while I'm talking about it real fast, but the what I want to say also is this is a game for couples. This is a game that, a lot of my friends who picked it up, they said, their wife just wasn't into PlayStation games. It was just them playing Destiny all the time. And, they said, "Hey, honey, would you play this?" Showed them the trailer, showed what it was about. They said, "Absolutely." Sat down. My buddy said he came home from work completely flabbergasted that his wife was sitting down with a notebook because there comes a point where you have to write stuff down like a madman. And he said he came home, she had a notebook just scribbled everywhere with different designs and shapes, and she was so involved in the game because this is a game that everyone can pick up and play because, you're not running around getting shot, it's not a time thing. It's like you can relax, you can put on some music, you can put on an audiobook, and you can relax and play this game. You don't have to be stressed out about getting shot or time or anything like that. It's play at your own leisure, and it's really fun. It's just super fun. Did you see it all with the
What
are
I
you
did
there?
I couldn't find the yeah, I couldn't find the earnings.
Oh, okay, all right. No big deal. But yeah, so that's my review for The Witness so far.
Nice.
Review in progress. So yeah, man. So what else we got here to review?
Let's do X-Files cuz this is going to be fun.
Yes.
We'll
Oh
talk
man.
cuz we haven't talked about it at all yet.
Yeah.
So we'll talk like the first two episodes were like the first one was definitely like a welcome back and it was done really well and I liked Joel McHale, which is a phrase I never thought I would say that ever.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
but he had a part to play and he did it really well and I'm like, okay, you know what? Maybe this guy can actually act. So good for him. Uh,
Yes.
that was a good episode. Um, the follow up was interesting.
Mhm.
Um, and then we'll talk about the interesting bits of the third one here in a second. But
Mhm.
I loved how everything seemed flipped. I loved how like he kept like Scully kept saying, where is your sense of of adventure? Where is this whole, like, because he's sitting there and he's like, all of this can be explained, and I'm like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah.
Did I walk into an X-Files episode of the X-Files? What the hell
Yep.
is going on here?
Yeah. Yeah.
Even like I love the one-sided argument in the hotel room.
Hmm.
That was great. And then you're like, this script is totally flipped. What the hell? And then he starts to wind back around and
Hmm.
then turns again. Like, but this is all crazy. And I know that's what you're going to say. But, and then goes on and on and on. But now this all makes sense. And
Yep.
she goes, that's the Mulder I know. He's
Yep.
like, what do you mean? This sounds insane. And she goes, exactly.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, and we've come back.
Yep,
Okay.
exactly. Yeah, no, I liked at the beginning of the episode. It's nostalgic. He's looking back and he's like, what have I been doing? Like, am I past this? Am I beyond this? Should I be this? Do I want to be this middle-aged man still looking for boogie monsters?
Right.
And then yeah, he finds himself in the middle of the episode, and he's like you said, he's back, and oh god, I loved it. This was, I gotta say, this has so far been my favorite X-Files episode. Now I'm sure I'm missing a lot from the first run of the show, but
Right.
this by far, this made it worth it
Well,
by
and
itself.
because it just, see, because like everything kind of works up to even Mulder with the camera app. That was, come on, that was brilliant.
Yeah, it was gold.
That was just such genius writing. But this, and then you get to where where he's talking to the monster who maybe isn't the monster that's the monster. It is such a trip.
Yeah,
I wonder if the two people who were huffing spray paint fumes in the bags at the beginning, if was that like a reenactment of the writers before they
dude.
did this episode?
Wait, I don't think that dude is this dude is that dude. I don't think that dude's alive. Yeah, it was. This is some of the. This is the writing was just superb. I didn't even see the twist coming. And by the way, so we're in reviews. We're gonna get into spoiler territory. Sorry, but we are. But yeah, dude, I did not see some of these things coming really, because
Yeah.
I didn't see this episode coming. If that
No,
makes sense.
and that was what worked so well about it. And again, I'm not versed in X-Files lore, so I mean, but I don't think they've ever done something quite like this.
Well, they do. Yeah, the guy who wrote this has done pretty much all of their comedy episodes, where
Right.
they go into the video game world and stuff like that, but not to this extent. Nothing that landed this well.
Yeah.
And I think it had a large part to do with Darby. Was it Rise Darby?
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy who plays Guy Man.
He's fantastic. That was
Yeah.
and he's like, so I had this desire to murder something. No, to get a job.
Oh,
What?
the way his story it is like 15 minutes long.
Yeah.
It is the best part of the episode. It makes it up to that point. I'm like, this is pretty funny, and it's weird and it's different. But when he starts telling his story at the grave,
It's
his
magnificent.
human experience, he explains the human condition in the best possible way, as if an alien thing that didn't understand death, understand mortality, just like an animal suddenly becoming a human. He's like, I have this sudden urge to lie about my sexual endeavors, and like it was like, oh my god, he's like, suddenly I want to lie to you all the time. And so, he's telling his story about Scully coming into the store.
Yeah.
It was just, or how he wanted to eat, and and then like he realized he had to wake up and do it all over again, and he wanted to kill himself.
And he was like, no, kill me, please. I can't do that again.
Yeah, it was perfect. He's like, well, if I didn't have a job, then I just can't live.
I can't, like, I won't, I can't get enough, I can't do credit, so I could go get a mortgage, whatever one of those is. And I'm not saving for retirement. And so, like, after all of this, like, I had to go and just do something. And he's like, and murder something? He's like, yes. He's like, now we're getting somewhere.
Right.
But and there again, look at Mulder's side of this. What are the parts that he can believe? That this thing is a creature that killed people. what is so foreign to him that it just doesn't strike him as believable that this guy went to work, that
What?
he got bored at work, that he hated his job, that everything about the current human condition was just absurd.
Right, when
And
he's talking about selling the phone, he's like, I have no idea what I'm talking about, but
and
I was
neither do
selling.
my customers. So
Yeah, exactly.
that's that's so and by the end of the day, I was the manager. Like,
Right. Yeah. It was some of
oh
the
god.
best. I haven't seen a comedy that I don't know, X-Files is not a comedy, but I haven't seen something like this that surprised me in a very long time.
It was
When you turn
yeah.
on South Park, you expect to laugh. When you turn on whatever, you expect to laugh. When you turn on X-Files, it was such a pleasant surprise.
Yeah, to just get this whole like it flipped the show on its head, and then when the comedy came around, you're right, it landed
Well,
just beautifully.
and the thing is, this is an episode where you can just give it to somebody. They don't need to know anything about the X
Exactly.
Files, and they can
Exactly.
enjoy it. Yeah, you can just say, if you want to laugh for an hour, put that on. All you need to know is it's the X Files. Mulder is the one who's into conspiracies. Scully is the one who tries to corrects that, and that's it. But hey, we're gonna take a break real fast. We'll be right back in a minute. Again, you're listening to We Geek Podcast on the N.FM. See you in a minute. Welcome back to We Geek Podcast on the N.FM. And man, yeah. So, anything else you wanted to say about that X Files episode?
I'm with you on the whole. Like, if you don't have to know anything about X Files other than just Mulder's crazy, Scully's logical. Enjoy, like that's
Yeah,
and
yeah,
and go to town because it doesn't rely on any other canon. Like I'm sure some of the stuff he mentions at the beginning are cases he investigated or something like that. But
right.
but you don't need to know that.
No,
That's the details aren't what's important.
right, exactly. And the writers knew that. I thought one quote in the episode kind of summed it all up. And when Scully said, "I forgot how much fun these cases can be."
Yes.
That's really
Yes.
what it was. It was this coming back for the 6 episodes. That one was worth it alone for me. So, hopefully, it gets picked up for a bigger season next time. And yeah, this is the one that I'm going to be telling people to go watch. You don't need to know anything about.
There you go.
Yep, absolutely. So let's see here. You talk about what, the Magicians? I've never seen this,
Don't.
so don't.
Yeah. Here's okay. And
Is that
this
your?
and I'm gonna separate this because it's based on a trilogy by Lev Grossman, and I
Okay.
read it last year. Now we'll put aside, we'll separate this into a TV show on its own and then a TV show as an adaptation.
Okay.
As a TV show on its own, it sucks. It's so poorly paced. You're by the end of the first hour, it's like, okay, here's a guy who's a grad student. It looks like, this is somebody who's like early 20s probably, uh, and they find, okay, here's like mature Hogwarts. Okay, fine, whatever. I'm okay so far. Um, and then as the episode progresses, it's like you're not sure exactly how much time has passed, but here he's a guy he's depressed and self-medicating and clinically medicating, and then 5 minutes later at the school he doesn't need any of that and he has some confidence and so on, and I'm like, that's just not, there's such a disconnect there, just
Right.
in terms of like it just seemed to have happened like that, and like magic, I guess. But no. And then it carries on to like, they introduce the villain, like they hint at it at the very beginning, he's coming. Oh, what are we going to do? Well, we'll keep an eye on this one here. It's like, oh, that's right, cuz the protagonist has to be the chosen one to beat the evil. Right. Okay, fine. Uh and then you get through the episode and everything, and it's just it the they it's like watching a Cliff Notes version of a story.
Mm.
It's great if you want to test on it, but if you actually want to get into a story, it sucks.
Oh, that
Because
sucks.
it's like, and now we've introduced this character, and hey, look, there's some tension here, and here's the next scene some indeterminate number of days later, and everything's fine. It's like, I don't, what? God,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's as a show on its own, it's terrible. It really is. As as an adaptation, it is a disgrace.
Oh wow.
Because and look, I understand like they aged them up a little. It's supposed to be like Wizard College instead of a Wizard graduate program. So
Hmm.
fine, they bumped them up 3, 4 years, whatever. That's not what I'm bothered with. What I'm bothered with is that they also changed everything else, pretty much except the guy's name. Uh, it's just I love the book, I really did. At all three of them, the show does them absolutely zero justice at all, and it's just and it's a bad show on top of that. So it's adding insult to injury. Um, so yeah, don't watch it. Basically, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, definitely not. Let's see here. Well, what else we got here? Tell me about Lucifer.
Liz, okay, and there's gonna be a little bit. I've only seen the pilot. I didn't get to see the episode from the other night. The pilot was enjoyable. It established Tom Ellis, I think is the guy's name, who plays Lucifer, and he just nailed it. He has the charisma, he has the sarcasm, he has like that's for that interpretation of the character, perfect.
Okay.
Could not have asked for anyone better. The styling of the show, it seems like it's going to be set up as just like another buddy cop drama kind of thing. It's like, hey, look, it's Castle, but what if he was the devil instead of a writer? You know,
Oh, okay.
and that could be a bummer. But the caveat here is one of the executive producers, whose name escapes me, came on after the pilot, or like when the pilot was pretty much wrapped, and the first thing he did was he had the cast and writers and producers all sit down and actually read the Lucifer comic for
Okay.
whatever that run is, however long it is, I forget.
Gotcha.
To say, look, this is where we're coming from. Now we're not going to do exactly, we're not going to do. It's still going to be, based on these characters, but not, they're not going to bring the comics to the screen.
Mm,
But to say, look, here's the tone, here's the theme, here's more like what we should be going for.
mm.
So moving forward, I actually have a lot of faith in this series.
Oh,
But
okay.
the pilot was good. The pilot was enjoyable. It's I tell you what, I don't know which is. I thought the weirdest thing that would happen last week was flipping through TV and saying, okay, well we're caught up on everything else. Mom, we should watch Lucifer, because there's a phrase you never hear. And then
Yeah.
at the end of the show, as we're clearing off the DVR, she goes, I really enjoyed that.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that is odd.
Okay, so I don't
Yep.
know where to go from here.
Yeah, I guess just watch episode 2. Yeah.
I guess,
Yeah.
but it's I
Um,
going forward. I'm looking forward to it because it showed there was definitely a spark there with the wit, the charm, and the humor, especially. Like I think it'll be good.
oh, cool, cool, cool. Definitely. Um, are you caught up on Star Wars Rebels?
All except the most recent episode.
Okay, all right. I think I don't know. Isn't there because they took a hiatus,
Right, right.
and then
There've been 2 episodes since they've come back.
okay, I didn't see the one with Leia.
Okay, so you're just 2 back.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I saw the one with Mandalorians. But up to that, what do you think of Rebels, man? We didn't talk about it. How do you like the show?
Man, I started this I think like last Monday,
Okay.
and I was caught up in time for the podcast.
Oh, nice.
I looked at this and I was like, well, I didn't really dig the Clone Wars, and I'm not entirely sure why. I don't know. It didn't resonate with me, which is fine. It's not made for us. It's made for kids,
Right.
so it's totally fine. But I was like, all right, well, I'll try Rebels and we'll see what happens. And I was hooked from like 20 minutes in.
Yeah.
Like I was in. Sign me up.
Yeah, yeah. I really enjoy it. It's where Clone Wars was like there was maybe if there's let's say there's I'm just gonna ballpark it here. Let's say there's 20 episodes a season, which there wasn't, but let's just say there was. There was maybe 5 of them that were just gold, and the rest were all like, okay, Jar Jar Binks is at it again.
Right.
Right. This one is not like that. Maybe there's a few episodes of the season like that, but there's really a lot of cool story and lore, and you know, it's really interesting. They take the Ralph's drawings and McQuarrie's drawings, and they really bring it to life in this time frame of Star Wars. And I like how they grasped onto his artwork, and they were like, okay, well, his time is from before A New Hope, and you can see that in all the artwork. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they even bring in like oh, I'm forgetting her name, Ahsoka or
Ahsoka.
Ahsoka. Her lightsabers are that white lightsaber, which is the same lightsaber as you see in all of his artwork. You know what I mean? Same with the droids. Chopper is the same droid from the artwork he did, the original artwork he did of R2D2. Yoda in the trailer is the same Yoda that he has in his artwork. So like it's all that time frame, and I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
Now, was there an episode? Maybe I skipped it when I skipped where they get into like the Jedi Temple and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay, see, I need to go back and rewatch. I need to watch, not rewatch, but I need to watch that one.
Yeah, that one was good. That one was a nice, because why do I watch Star Wars? Well, for Jedi. Let's be honest here. But everything, like, they've weaved such a great story with all of these other characters that it's just it's personal. That was the thing with me. Clone Wars never. Maybe it was just because I didn't stick with it long enough, but I didn't feel like these characters actually connected.
Right, exactly. It was, well, that's the thing. It was almost like a serialized, like it jumped all over the place. The timeline.
Right.
You were looking at Yoda here, you were looking at Obi here, you were looking at Mace Windu here. Anakin and Ahsoka were really the only two personal Ahsoka, because she's a brand new character. That's why this one is so good. They're all brand new characters except for a few. Yeah. And I liked how they married a lot of the old stuff into it. Like now we have a part of our crew. We have the clone trooper. What's his name?
Rex.
Rex. Yeah, that's it. So I like in Rex and Ahsoka they brought those two things over from it. And it wouldn't be unheard of if we see Obi-Wan or we got Vader in it. Well, so they can put in some of those things, like we have Princess Leia and stuff like that. So I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, man, I really dig it. This is one of those things that's on my DVR now. So
yeah. The way that they did the Jedi Temple was like a very refined version of what happened to Luke on Dagobah.
Oh, okay,
like
cool.
that was what they were, and it was so good.
Oh, okay.
And it gives you a little bit more insight into what it means to be force sensitive and how that all can work for you or sometimes really drastically against you.
Okay.
But
there's one show I'm not caught up on. I don't know if you can talk about it without spoiling it, but what about Arrow?
Okay, I can talk about it a little bit without spoiling. How far back are you?
I don't think I've seen any this season.
Wow.
No, not this season. I mean this. Sorry.
Since they came back.
Since they came back, so I think the car got shot up or something.
Right. It's been solid. It's really been solid. They've dealt with the aftermath of that in a really in a really satisfying way.
Okay.
It didn't just feel like here's the story for it and now it's resolved. It's like, no, there's a process with this.
Okay.
And they've worked they did a story with Diggle this last week.
Oh, cool.
It was more like everybody else was in it, but it was shifted, like it was more focused on him. Even the flashbacks were on him.
Oh, cool. Him and his brother?
Yeah. And it was
cool.
a good episode. And it will shock the hell out of you about 10 minutes from the end.
Oh, okay.
It's what they do is like, well, I didn't see that coming.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, I've been wanting to catch up. I don't know why I haven't. I'm caught up on Flash. I'm caught up on DC Legends of Tomorrow's, but for some reason Arrow I didn't catch.
But not Arrow. Yeah, it was good. It was good. And the way especially at the end of this last episode, there's a great scene, uh, again dealing with what happened to Felicity, and it feels, it cements the idea that these characters, we're years down the road here. These are
Right.
not the same characters that we've seen when they started. They've changed or matured or moved on or not, but
Right.
we've seen progression, and that's what I love about good TV shows is sensible character progression. Not just having them move forward for the sake of moving forward, but
Right.
but in a way that works, in a way that makes sense. And the best, there's a great, they they finally give Felicity a code name, and it's
Oh, I
it's
can imagine what it is.
but you're wrong.
Oh, really?
I will say that, but there is a great joke about that though.
Oh, okay.
You'll get a good laugh out of it.
All right. All right.
But
Yeah, 'cause
yeah,
my
I
mind
know,
just
like that
immediately
was,
went to one place.
yeah, that
Yeah.
was, and that was you could tell that the writers knew that's what everybody else was thinking too.
Oh, okay, cool. So they knew it was up, and then they wanted to trick you. Cool.
Yeah. So
Awesome.
that's, it's good. It's been really good. I'm trying to think of what, like, we see some of these other characters that may have been a little more marginalized
Okay.
start to come a little more prominent. Um, Diggle's wife, whose name escapes me for the moment, is starting to play a bigger role,
Oh, okay.
and that adds an interesting dynamic, especially where it is she has to come in. It's interesting. You'll like the mid season premiere, because it does deal with the fallout really well, and then
Okay.
that'll carry over into last week's episode, and I think you'll really dig that.
Oh, okay. Cool, cool. Yeah, man, I can't wait. I can't wait. I hope
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Oh, okay. So yeah, we'll be right back. We're gonna take a quick break and come back, and we'll get some more reviews. Again, you're listening to We Geek Podcast on the N.FM. See you in a minute. Welcome back to We Geek Podcast on the N.FM, and we got a few more reviews for you. Let's jump in. We're still in the CW verse. Let's go into the Flash, man. How you been liking it?
Come on, man, you have to ask.
Oh yeah, man.
I love
It's
I love this show.
it's gold. It's so good. Yeah, I like the stuff with Wally, and his racing and whatnot. We I think we're a few episodes we got to review. I'm trying to think what transpired, but I loved the scene with oh wow, my mind just went blank here, where he loses his speed
Yeah,
and he slows down and he can't get the glass in time.
yeah, that was last night. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But what about you, man? What have you been thinking of it?
it's been awesome, and I love, coming back to that, like his whole, like, he realizes he's not fast enough. Instead of dragging it out,
Right.
instead of making this like a 4 episode arc of like what will Wells do and so on, he finally just gets to the point where he's like, you know what, fine, screw it, I did it.
Hmm.
Like, I did this. I told you I was going to betray you. I told
Right.
you. I warned you. And it was great to see that Barry understood that.
Yeah.
Just because he told him straight up, it's not for evil. He's not taking his speed to take over the world. He's doing it for his daughter.
Yep.
And he, he was looking around at everybody else and saying, wouldn't any of us have done the same thing?
Yep.
And I know we're gonna see tension from that for probably for the rest of the season.
Oh
But
yeah.
but to see Barry say, look, you know what, I get it.
Yeah.
That shows a tremendous level of maturity, and
Oh yeah.
that was cool. Um,
Yeah. Yeah. It was odd. It put everyone in like uncomfortable positions to do, and he stepped up and he was like, "Look, we're here to save your daughter as well." And they understood that he was going to put her life, and he went back on that. He was like, "Look, I gave him your Speed Force. I just sacrificed my daughter."
yeah,
Pretty much. Um, the episode before was the Reverse Flash returns,
yeah.
and I thought,
That was so bizarre, because I was like, wait a minute, how can he come back? Oh, that's right, he's from the future.
Yeah, I was totally confused at first, and I was like, yeah, okay, now it makes much more sense. Yeah, and I thought it was great, the whole Cisco thing. Like he just went to another level,
Yeah.
of what he could do and where he could see, and it was just really good. It's going to be interesting moving forward with Cisco because I don't want anything to happen to the character, and we saw that nosebleed. So
Well, and again, I think that was they kind of played that off with how they kept Wells there,
right,
or
no,
not
that's true.
not Wells, but with Thawne.
Okay,
And I think yeah, because that was kind of the whole thing with that was
right,
if they kept it was interesting though that that was the only point they were going with.
right,
Like, because technically keeping him there and preventing him from going back to work around and do whatever it was that got him all the way back to begin with would
right.
have kind of negated an entire. That's it's timey wimey.
It's very timey-wimey, but it was a cool origin story, and I liked how they pointed that out. They were like, "This is his origin story. This is how he knows about all of you.
Yeah,
This has to happen. You have to let him go."
yeah.
And I thought it was really cool. I thought it was really well made. It's one of those that's one I'm gonna have to probably rewatch, and just to get a better idea of exactly what happened because it gets very timey-wimey.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, I thought the last one was pretty cool. Like, there's always a surprise, and that's like I said, when that glass hit Iris, I was like, did they just get? Did they? I was like, is this it? And then they go to commercial and they come back, and she's in the hospital. But I was like, oh, that would have been something else.
But it was, and I loved how that was a catalyst for everybody. Like,
Yeah.
it wasn't just for Barry to wonder about his speed, but it was
Right.
also for Joe to keep being dad,
Right.
to get away from being buddy and go back to being no, you know what? Screw this. I am a grown man. I am a father.
Right. Right.
And to see Wally kind of step up and say, you know what? She's been telling me that all of this was going to be me getting hurt and it was actually her
Right.
getting hurt. What is this? And that little sermon on family. Like
Yep.
that's it. It was well done. It was well written that way. And to see I'm telling you when Earth 2 Wells said that it was his fault, I thought Joe was just going to shoot him right there.
Oh yeah.
I
No. Yeah.
really did.
Yeah. Seriously, I did too. Yeah. And he threw him away. He was like, "No, I did that more for me."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, let's jump into Legends of Tomorrow. What did you think of it?
I love this show. I
Yeah.
love the humor of this show. If you couldn't watch this week's episode and not laugh through like half of it,
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you, man. I really don't.
Yeah. It was great. It was definitely great. I'm getting kind of lost on. There's been three of them, right?
Two.
Well, there was two. There was Pilot Part 1 and then Pilot Part 2, and then there was Blood Ties. So there's one on the 21st, one on the 28th, and then one on the 4th.
Right, we haven't had that one yet.
4th. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's right. That's tomorrow. Duh.
Yeah.
Sorry about
Yeah,
that.
we've technically just had the pilot, really.
That's right. That's right. Okay. Yeah. See, I'm getting totally mixed up.
Uh-huh,
Okay. All
see,
right.
time travel will do that to you.
Yeah. Exactly. How perfect is the casting for this?
Oh, it's magnificent. I love that Rory has become the doctor
He
and
has.
and acts like the doctor.
Yes, he absolutely does.
That's what's magnificent. The arrogance, the high-mindedness. It's
Yeah.
all there. It's perfect.
Yeah, man. And the Atom and like it's Captain Cold and like when who I never thought we would ever get this on television.
Yeah.
They basically took, the event. This is the Avengers. This is Suicide Squad. This is Guardians of the Galaxy on television, and we get it every week. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? It's
And
you get.
it's hysterical.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic. And that's again we're getting into spoilers. That's what I love so much about it is that at first when you're seeing the trailers and you're seeing all this and it's like you guys are legends, but really they're not. And that's what the hook is. I think is that they're not legends. This is the Suicide Squad. This is the Guardians of the Galaxy. This is the nobodies. They're the ones that didn't matter in the time stream.
Yeah.
That's why they're all there. But they are going to matter, and they're all odd balls. They're all odd characters, and the way they play off of each other, is just so well done. And the timey wimey stuff, and they go and they meet what's his name's older Younger self.
Stein, yeah,
Stein.
when he meets himself in college, and just
Yeah.
to see, oh my god,
Yeah.
that was hysterical. And then,
Yeah. He hits on Sarah and whatnot, and he's like, "Stop flirting with me," and she's like, "You're flirting with me." It was just,
oh,
it was perfect. It
and to
was,
see, and I loved kind of the come around to when he sees like the arrogance in his younger self, and it's Jax who kind of puts him in his place. Like, look, it's still there,
right,
but that's not all that's there. And it
right.
was a great, and because I loved the opening. I loved getting into the auction. That
Oh
was
yeah.
fantastic because I'm like, okay, yeah, Captain Cold can find a way to pull this up, and here comes freaking Professor Stein,
Yep.
and just bum rushes this dude pretty much. It's like,
Yeah.
and are you sure? Are you sure you want to do this, man? You do not want to get in my way. I was
Yeah.
like, holy crap!
Oh yeah. It was perfect. It was, and then when he was like, can I light something on fire yet? Whatever, the guy with the fire gun or whatnot. It
Heat
was
wave, heat
Heat
wave.
Wave, yeah. Like him and Captain Cold. There's just so many aspects to this that are fantastic.
You're a special kind of crazy. I
Yeah,
like you.
exactly. Oh yeah, oh
I
yeah. And he's
love
like,
I love him. These two were a great pair. They were the reason that Prison Break was around for more than one season.
oh yeah, yeah.
Those
Oh yeah,
two,
they have chemistry
yeah,
for sure.
the chemistry between the pair of them is fantastic, and it's wonderful.
Yeah, this is, and we get this weekly. That's the best thing about this. And we're not. This isn't something that is like a TV movie or a movie in the theaters. Like we're getting weekly. This is like when you're looking at it, it is as big as like the Avengers or something
Yeah,
else. When the Atom is popping in and out of the gun and whatnot, I'm just like, holy cow!
yeah.
Like how are they doing this on television? So this is hands down my favorite of the CW so far. Flash, I think maybe is, I guess maybe Flash is the best to me because it's just been out for so long. But so far, these two episodes have been gold.
Yeah.
Like this is my wheelhouse. This is what I want to see. All these characters on the same show, doing timey wimey stuff. Like I said, this for some weird reason, this is getting my Star Trek itch. This is getting that weird, thing. So, and the best thing about it is next season we might get a whole new slew of characters.
All right. Hey, I'm telling you, man, Teen Titans.
Yeah, yeah,
We're gonna
exactly.
we're gonna see a rotating cast, and we're gonna get to know characters. This show is going to do what the comics couldn't.
Do you
We,
want to know this is a spoiler for something coming up. Do you want to know what Stephen Amell said?
what did Stephen Amell said?
He apparently is going to be in Legends of Tomorrow with one arm hung upside down
No.
with the beard. Yeah, apparently
Oh,
that's the. I believe, I don't know if he said it or if that's the rumor. I don't know if I can look it up, but
oh,
I'll.
he's doing Dark Knight Returns, Ollie.
Yes,
Ah,
but
that's fantastic.
yeah, but we gotta go. So make sure you go to our Facebook group, like it and share it. We Geek Podcast. Make sure you put a review on our iTunes page that helps people see us. Yeah, listen to us here every Wednesday at 9 p.m. on the end.fm. Our Twitters are at Adam Estep, at We Geek Podcast,
At the Logan Witt.
and send us an email, wegeekpodcast@gmail.com. Am I missing anything else, Logan?
I think that'll do it. Stay tuned for whatever we're in the coming weeks. There will be announcements of things, so keep your ears open.
Definitely. We'll have some special episodes coming up for you guys. So again, until next week, Captain.
Captain.